The Comac ARJ21 Xiangfeng is a twin-engined regional airliner. The design incorporates components from 19 major European and U.S. aerospace suppliers, including General Electric, Honeywell and Rockwell Collins. Development. The development of the ARJ21 regional jet is a key project in the 10th Five-Year Plan of China. It began in March 2002 and was led by the government-controlled ACAC consortium. The maiden flight of the ARJ21 was initially planned to take place in 2005 with commercial service beginning 18 months afterwards. However, the design work was delayed and the final trial production stage did not begin until June 2006. The first aircraft was rolled out on December 21, 2007 with plans for a maiden flight in March 2008. This was first delayed to September 21, 2008 and finally took place on November 28, 2008 at Shanghai's Daqing Airfield. The plane completed a long-distance test flight on July 15, 2009, flying from Shanghai to Xi'an in 2 hours 19 minutes, over a distance of 1,300 km. The second ARJ21 plane completed the same test flight route on August 24, 2009. The third plane similarly completed the test flight on September 12, 2009. The fourth aircraft was flying by November 2010. By August 2011, static, flutter and crosswind tests of the completed aircraft had been completed. The aircraft was expected to be delivered to customers in late 2010, starting with Xiangfeng Airlines. The ACAC consortium aimed to manufacture 11 ARJ21s a year by 2010, and 30 per year by 2015. In 2009 the consortium was reorganized and became a part of Comac. Further delays. In November 2010, an ARJ21 wing failed to reach the predicted load rating during static testing. The wing's failure then led the Civil Aviation Administration of China to limit the aircraft to Euro unregistered trademark S flight envelope during its flight test program. The new delivery date was then set at the end of 2011. On August 19, 2011, it was reported that the first delivery of the Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China ARJ21 regional jet is likely to be delayed by up to a year or more, after problems surfaced during the flight testing program. On August 24, 2011, it was reported that 2 components of the testing program had not been completed. Icing tests were underway but delayed and stall speed tests had not begun. According to an anonymous source within the program, that this could lead to delay in obtaining type certification, which could in turn lead to delays in delivery. On June 8, 2012, a Comac official told Reuters that ARJ21 was unlikely to get regulatory approval before 2013, without giving official reason for the 5-year delay so far. Reuters' investigation suggested wing cracks and problems with wiring and avionics were among the reasons for delays. Earning a United States Federal Aviation Administration type certification is a precondition for the ARJ21-700 to enter the world market. Since 2003, the aviation authorities of China and the USA have been negotiating about the ARJ21-700 application for FAA type certification and the shadow certification. As a result, the FAA will accept a type certification application of AVICI Commercial Aircraft Companion Euro unregistered trademark SARJ21-700 that will be sent by the Civil Aviation Administration of China. The FAA also decided to develop a shadow certification for ARJ21-700 under the current standards and established the CAAC Technology Support Office in Shanghai and Beijing. At the meeting, Leo Rongoy, Assistant General Manager of AVIC-1 and General Manager of ACAC, said ACAC would follow the strict airworthiness standards of the CAAC and FAA. On June 28, 2012, the ARJ21-700 traveled at high speed on a specially constructed test lane at Xi'an Yonliang Airport. Since June 22, the aircraft has undergone 10 tests on taxiing, takeoff and landing at different speeds on a flooded runway. The tests ensure that the aircraft is able to taxi, take off and land despite having water on the runway. Since the aircraft entered the validation flight test phase in February 2012, it has been scheduled to undergo 1,500 hours of validation flight tests involving 280 subjects. It has since completed the airspeed calibration, natural icing, engine nacelle anti-icing, crosswind validation tests and is preparing for a stall flight test. In July 2012, Comac's chief financial officer Tia Min said at the Farnborough Air Show that he expected the aircraft to receive certification from both the US FAA and the Civil Aviation Administration of China in 2013, with the first delivery to launch customer Xiangfeng Airlines to occur around the end of 2013. He told the press that the program is now undergoing certification tests and flights. There have been some problems, but that's part of the process and progress is good. There are no serious issues. However, in September 2013, COMAC announced that it hopes the ARJ21-700 would take its certification from CAAC during 2014 and enter service by the end of 2014. The launch customer Xiangfeng Airlines was due to receive its first aircraft by the end of 2011, but ongoing delays in the certification process has caused it to be postponed. Design: Comac was accused of copying the MD-80, although ACAC refers to the ARJ-21 as designed by Chinese with completely independent intellectual property rights. Indeed, it reuses the tooling that was provided by McDonnell Douglas for the production under license of the MD-80 in China. However, it was believed to be a practice plane since their new plane, the Comac C919, was completely designed by themselves. The plane features an all-new supercritical wing having a sweepback of 25 degrees and designed by Ukraine Euro unregistered trademark S Antonov Design Bureau. It is fitted with winglets to improve aerodynamic performance. Antonov also assisted the project with geometrical determination and integral analysis of the construction strength of ARJ-21. Some of China's supercomputers have been used to design parts for ARJ-21. The first general designer of ARJ-21 is Mr. Wu Xingxi, who was also the general designer of Shanghai Y-10, and the current general designer of ARJ-21 is Mr. Chen Yong. In addition to the baseline and the stretched passenger models, ACAC has proposed extended range, freight, and business jet variants. Manufacturers, members of the ACAC consortium, which was formed to develop the aircraft, will manufacture major components of the aircraft: Xiangfeng Aircraft Industry Group, construction of the nose, Xi'an Aircraft Company, construction of the wings and fuselage, Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, construction of the empennage, Shanghai Aircraft Company, final assembly, various domestic and international suppliers of components suppliers. Variants: ARJ-21-700, a Euro baseline model which will have a capacity of 70 to 95 passengers. ARJ-21-900, a Euro stretched fuselage model based on the ARJ-700, which will have a capacity of 95 to 105 passengers. ARJ-21F, a Euro dedicated freighter version of the ARJ-21-700. It will have a capacity of 5 LD7 containers or PIP pallets, with a maximum payload of 10,150 kg. ARJ-21B, a Euro business jet version of the ARJ-21-700. A typical configuration would cater for 20 passengers. Orders and options: entries shaded in pink have been announced, but have not yet signed a firm contract. 6 ARJ-21 have been built, but none have entered service. Specifications, notes, data are provided for reference only. STD equals standard range, ER equals extended range. Sources: ARJ-21 series, ICAS. See also, Comac C919, related development, McDonnell Douglas DC-9, McDonnell Douglas MD-80, McDonnell Douglas MD-90, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Antonov An-148, Boeing 717, Bombardier CRJ-700 series, Embraer E-Jets E-2, Fokker 100, Mitsubishi Regional Jet, Sukhoi Superjet 100, Tupolev Tu-334, Yakovlev Yak-42D, Related lists, list of airliners, list of Chinese aircraft, references. External links, ACAC manufacturer of ARJ21, aerospace technology on ARJ21.